imperative that San Francisco keep this in mind as well. Brock Purdy can't be in 3rd and 7+ situations over and over again. I think when he's at his greatest is when they have 3rd and 2 to 5, 3rd and 2 to 6, right? Therefore, now you don't have to stand in that pocket for a very, very long time. And when you get to 3rd and 7+, now you're allowing that defensive line that led the National Football League in sacks, 70 to be exact, have an opportunity to pin their ears back and go get you that much more. So I think when you can stay to manageable third downs, I think that'll help Brock Purdy out a lot.
Well, it's interesting because one of the things that they're going to have to account for is Nick Bosa. Bosa lined up on both sides of the D-line this season. 10 and a half of his 18 and a half sacks came as the right defensive end, right? So obviously that's where he prefers to be. 10 and a half came from right, 7 came from left. So you start thinking about that. Well, the other portion of this is that at some point they have to account for Lane Johnson, right? So they're going to do whatever it takes to keep Nick Bosa away from Lane Johnson to try and keep some sort of the correct matchup for the offense. I went to the Eagles side of this. That's where my mind went. I'm sorry. I totally flipped everything because we were talking about the Eagles defense. I went to the Eagles offense. Look at that. Had the wrong nugget for you, Harry. It happens sometimes. That is going to be a concern for later in the show. But realistically, the pressure numbers that were just on the screen was what had me thinking about it. Like, if you are the 49ers offense, going back to the appropriate portion of this, if you are the 49ers offense, do you not have the weapons between Debo and Christian McCaffrey to be able to work around that? Like, there is some opportunity in pre-snap motion to confuse whatever they're going to try and send pressure-wise to you, right? That will give the 49ers the opportunity to confuse the Eagles defense.
Correct, but you don't want to be one-dimensional as well if you're the 49ers. Your bread and butter is rushing the football. Everything that you do within the run game, and this is what I've been trying to explain to a lot of people over the last few years, when it has come to a Kyle Shanahan, a Mike Shanahan offense, the baseline of the offense, everything is revolved around the run game. So if the run game is negated and now you're in a pass situation and you're one-dimensional, that's going to favor, the Philadelphia Eagles. So you want to remain balanced. Therefore, when you're using your shifts, when you're using your motions, now they got to worry about, is Debo going to get this speed sweep, right? Are they going to motion and give it to George Kittle or Kyle Juszczyk on 3rd and 1 and 4th and 1 coming underneath for a trap? So I just think I think the baseline for San Fran is be balanced offensively and understand that everything comes off your run game, because I think once they get pass happy, that's what the Eagles want you to do.
Well, and here's the nugget I was looking for, the pass rush win rate, which is really hard for – like, can we rename that somebody? Like, pass rush win rate is hard for me to say. But the pass rush win rate for the Eagles, including the playoffs, they rank first in the NFL, 52%. Sack percentage, they rank first in the NFL. Pressure percentage, they rank 6th in the NFL. Like, this defense just absolutely gets after it. You mentioned speed sweeps, and for anyone that doesn't know what he's talking about, it's when the wide receiver comes in motion, the quarterback takes the snap and immediately sort of hands it to that receiver as he tries to
probably should have said jet sweep.
Well,
jet sweep.
But my question is,
thing.
Can you run jet sweeps against a pass rush that is pushing the pocket backwards? I genuinely don't know.
Well, it's happening quick. And if, San Francisco, if they're using a lot of shifts and motions in which their offense does on numerous of occasions, because sometimes you can probably run that same motion 3 or 4 times, and the defense may get lazy at times and say, okay, he's just going in motion, and the next thing you know, boom, Brock Purdy has handed the ball off to one of his weapons, and now they're going around the edge.
Well, the sack percentages for both of these teams are absolutely through the roof. And what's hard for me, because I've been really honest with everybody about how difficult this game is for me to predict. And you know me, when it's a tie, the tie goes to the quarterback I prefer. I just can't decide if it's a tie. Like, I love the 49ers in so many ways in this matchup. It is really hard for me to look at it like I wonder if I'm just doubting Brock Purdy and giving Jalen Hurts the benefit of the doubt, which is fair to do, but maybe not considering the rest of the roster. I genuinely don't know right now.
So you're leaning towards the 49ers in this matchup?
If it was any other quarterback, I wouldn't even be leaning. I'd be hammering the 49ers. I love –
because that's not who I'm taking in this game.
Well,
I'm taking the Philadelphia Eagles. That's who I'm taking.
Okay.
Because I think from an offensive standpoint, number one, the quarterback position, I can't ignore what Jalen Hurts has been able to do, rushing the football and throwing the football this year. I can't ignore that when they're in, negative situations on the offensive side, when they're in 2nd and 14 or 1st and 20 or 2nd and 20, how they don't blink an eye, and they're going to pick up first downs over and over again. And I get it. I understand the San Francisco 49ers and their defense is the number one defense coming into this game. But you talk about a guy that's cool, calm, and collected at the quarterback position, but you have all the weapons around you, from offensive line to tight end to wide receivers to running backs. I take my chances with Jalen Hurts in that offense versus the San Francisco 49ers defense. Now, don't get me wrong. Jalen Hurts is going to have to play phenomenal. There's no good he can play good against the number one defense and think they're going to beat the 49ers. No, he has to be amazing in this game.
It comes back to another metric that I thought was really important to me with San Francisco. If you look at their yards after contact, all right, on offense, they rank first in the NFL. You make contact with the 49ers, doesn't matter. They're still going to get yards. They are first in the NFL in yards after contact. Defensively, they're first in the NFL for allowing least yards after contact. I think that's so important because of the way Philly's going to run this offense and because of the way Jalen Hurts particularly can get a few extra yards out of basically everything. I'm looking at a really disciplined, really well-coached defense that I believe is going to be able to stop every play at the point of contact. And if that happens, man, now all of a sudden San Francisco's in a really good situation for me. So that's the part of it that I think leans San Francisco for me. I just don't know that we have any proof of concept, something you know I care too much about, on Brock Purdy being able to go out there. And I know he definitely have given him a lot more leverage to win these sorts of football games. But I keep thinking of the Brock Purdy I watched covering him in college and thinking, man, that kid's going to make it to the Super Bowl? Like, that just feels wild to me.
You know what I'm looking forward to in this ball game? Because I've watched a ton of the Philadelphia Eagles film. From an offensive standpoint, I want to see when they go empty, right? When they go empty, but they don't send Devontae Smith to the wide side of the field. They send him to the short side of the field, either with a tight end or with A.J. Brown or a running back, and he lines up in the slot. A lot of teams this season, right, they didn't carry their nickel corner over to the short side of the field. Normally the nickel corner goes to the wide side of the field. So I've seen Devontae Smith matched up with linebackers a lot, matched up with safeties one-on-one. I want to see, are the San Francisco 49ers, are they going to carry that nickel to the short side of the field where Devontae Smith is lined up in the slot? Or are they going to allow these linebackers and safeties to guard him one-on-one? Because those have been matchups that Jalen Hurts and his offense have been able to exploit versus other teams.
I absolutely love coaching. You know that. And I keep thinking about, to your point, everything that happens pre-snap can cause confusion on the defensive side of the football. And everything that Jalen Hurts is going to be looking for, they'll be looking to create mismatches. I trust D'Amico Ryan so damn much at this point. Just watching him work on the sidelines and the way he communicates to his guys, I trust it. Jalen Hurts just said this morning at his press conference about facing this Niners defense.
They play really hard. They have a way of doing what they do. And I think they're coached well. They have great players. I think for us, we just have to execute. That can come from just trying to control the things we can, but we know we have really good players that we're about to go against, so it'll be a challenge.
I'm not sure he said much there, Harry, but I'm not sure he can say. There's not a lot he can say in this. It becomes really interesting to me because these two teams are about everything but the quarterback for their greatness, not taking anything away from Jalen Hurts. It'll be interesting because this will be a defining moment. Either Jalen Hurts is about to leapfrog into the absolute upper echelon, or Brock Purdy is going to reach a point where he cannot be denied and must be taken seriously. It's crazy to think how much we'll put on that one position, but as we've been telling you for the last 10 minutes, how much every other position on the field will actually impact the way that comes down. Which leads me to checklist time. We're going to go through the NFC Championship game, and we're going to figure out who's better at all of the important spots in this, maybe even make a pick for you. That's coming up next. Fitz and Harry on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app.
What an opening drive by the Cincinnati Bengals.
He will have won back-to-back AFC Championship games at Arrowhead.
At Arrowhead. All that is riding on a legacy that's just getting started.
This is Fitz and Harry on ESPN Radio.
This is an important notice to all U.S. taxpayers. The IRS is giving away billions of dollars in tax savings through a federal program called the Fresh Start Initiative to aid delinquent taxpayers. This initiative was established for anyone facing financial hardship and unable to pay their back taxes. Qualifying and enrolling in this program will stop all collections, settle your delinquent tax problem, and even reduce what you owe by thousands of dollars. Call the hotline at People sales tax relief to see if you qualify and get this free information by dialing 800-285-2521. If you have unfiled tax returns or cannot afford to pay your personal or business back taxes, you can now get the help you need. One simple phone call can resolve your tax problem and save you thousands of dollars. To see if you qualify and to get this important free information, call 800-285-2521. 800-285-2521. 800-285-2521.
From the University of Alabama, this is Crimson Tide Today. It's a daily update on Bama sports, and it's brought to you by Everwood Treatment Company, the official treated lumber of Alabama athletics. Everwood, wood treated right. Hello again, everybody. I'm Roger Hoover. Men's basketball improved to 8-0 in SEC play with a Wednesday night victory against Mississippi State. Following the win and ahead of Saturday's game at Oklahoma, head coach Nate Oates met with the media.
Figure out how to win a close game, especially when you're down. I told our guys 2 years ago when we won the SEC championship, in the tournament, in the semifinal, we're down 15 to Tennessee. You got to figure out how to win games that aren't going your way. I mean, we shot 18% from three and couldn't buy a bucket, and still figured out how to beat a pretty good team. I mean, I know their record doesn't say they're good, but I still think they're a good team. I think they're going to upset some people. They play really hard. They had us down 10, so they had us down 11, I think, at one point. So it's a quality team, but at this point, we'll take a win.
I'll have more in a moment.
Producing championship quality lumber is not an easy process, but at Everwood Treatment Company, it's our only process. Wood treated right. Everwood is championship quality lumber for decks, outdoor structures, commercial jobs, and more that you can build your reputation on. No rot, no decay, no termites, no problems. Just wood treated right. To locate your local Everwood store, visit everwoodtreatment.com. Everwood Treatment, official lumber of the Alabama Crimson Tide.
We've got you covered for Alabama men's basketball at Oklahoma on Saturday in the SEC Big 12 Challenge. Tip-off is set for 1 p.m. Central from Norman, Oklahoma, and our coverage on the radio will begin at noon. You can listen, of course, across our radio network, as well as the Varsity Network app streaming worldwide. Crimson Tide Today is brought to you by Everwood. Crimson Tide Today is a production of the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
This is Wes Neighbors with Philip with Eagle Insulation, and we have an announcement to make.
Yes, Wes, we are now Eagle Masonry and Insulation. Still a place to call for your installation needs, but now we offer masonry services.
What kind of masonry projects can you handle?
Wes, no job is too big, no job is too small. We can do renovations, new construction, outdoor fireplaces, fire pits, brick landscape borders.
Well, when you came out to my house, you did both the insulation and masonry at the same time. You guys did rock for me, you did brick for me, and you insulated my house. That's usually done at the same time that you're building a house.
Absolutely. It really capitalizes on 2 services you need at the same time, and you can get one company to handle both of those.
Philip with Eagle Insulation will come out, do your installation. He'll do your masonry. They do a great job. They guarantee your work. Check out more online at insulatedwitheagle.com and schedule your free examination today. 256-755-1556.
Thanks, Wes.
No need to get your tinsel in a tangle. The Alabama Boat Sale at Rambo Marine in Hazel Green is coming up January 13th through the 15th. With over 200 units in stock ready to be delivered, Rambo Marine will personally gift wrap it for you. Seal the deal today and you'll enjoy the no-show, more dough Rambo Marine special, a $3,000 additional discount. Mark your calendars for January 13th through the 15th to join us at the Alabama Boat Sale at Rambo Marine in Hazel Green. Ho, ho, ho! Santa approved.
Anywhere you get your podcast.
This is Daryl from Columbus, previously from the Paul Feinbaum Show.
Blake Toppmeyer joins us, of course. I think Nick Saban's problems in getting Alabama back to its place of prominence start with LSU. I mean, LSU was a point better on the scoreboard than Alabama was this past season, and Brian Kelly has the accelerator pressed down when it comes to the transfer portal.
The Paul Feinbaum Show, weekdays at 3 Eastern on the ESPN app and on the SEC Network.
I think the Eagles have a better unit offensively.
Hurts keeps fighting for the end zone. What a run!
The Niners
clearly the best defense left in this thing.
And from behind, Bosa takes him down for the sack.
Joe Burrow, I think this guy's got what it takes to win multiple championships.
Wide open is Jamar Chase. Forget about it.
At any moment, one play could end your season or keep it going.
Mahomes, end zone. He's got another.
Patrick still does stuff that you just can't comprehend.
Fitz and Harry's, presented by Progressive Insurance. Get a business insurance quote online in as little as 6 minutes. Visit progressivecommercial.com. Harry Douglas, Jason Fitz. We're on ESPN Radio, the ESPN app, Sirius XM, Channel 80. All right, that music can only mean, well, like a million things, because we play it all the time when we do NFL things, because it makes all my no places say yes, yes. But Harry, it's checklist time. You ready for this?
Oh, let's do this.
All right, so we're going to go through the NFC and AFC Championships games. We shall start with this one.
The San Francisco 49ers at the Philadelphia Eagles.
I got a list, and we're going to go down. We're going to start. These will be ranked. Quarterback, skill position, and defense, and coaching. Those are the things we're going to qualify. So let's start. You got to check this or that. Quarterback position in the NFC Championship game. Who you got, Jalen Hurts or Brock Purdy?
Oh, this is easy for me. I'm going to go with Jalen Hurts. How he's been able to play this season has been phenomenal. MVP caliber until he got hurt. I wish that would have never happened because he had a chance to actually win the MVP, but I'm going Jalen Hurts.
It wasn't that long ago we weren't sure if Jalen Hurts was the answer. And as has been pointed out by Evan and Devin that do great work on this show every single day, we've never seen Jalen Hurts at this platform either. We have no idea what he will do in this game. That being said, I'm still taking him over Brock Purdy. We agree. So the checklist so far, we are on the same page. Now, we go to skill position. Eagles or 49ers? This one's tough.
Oh, don't do this to me, man.
Well, let me make a case. While you're making a decision, let me make a case. Yep. Is there any team in the entire NFL that has two better positionless players than Debo and Christian McCaffrey?
No.
See? That's no. I guess to me, I'm not just looking at Christian McCaffrey, the running back, or Debo Samuel, the wide receiver. I'm looking at two guys that are basically whatever they need to be in every position, in every formation, in every possible down and distance. You never know what you're
quarterback doesn't play a factor in this at all, right?
Quarterback is not a factor at all. We were just talking about the skill positions.
Yeah, so I'm going to go San Francisco 49ers. But here's a major chess piece why.
Okay.
Kyle Juszczyk is thrown into that equation as well.
You are so right.
Kyle Juszczyk. And you have George Kittle and all the other guys, but Kyle Juszczyk is a major chess piece.
Yeah, Juszczyk, I said it the other day, there are only a few teams that really use the fullback. 49ers are one of them, and because of his athleticism, he is a dangerous weapon for San Francisco. Okay, so far we have the quarterbacks going advantage Eagles. We have skill position going advantage San Francisco. What about the defense? You got two defenses we've been talking a lot about. Two defenses that can absolutely destroy quarterbacks. Two defenses that know how to force turnovers, and two defenses that are incredibly well coached. Who you got, HD?
Surprisingly, I am going to pick the Eagles defense.
Oh.
And I'm going to pick them because of their two secondary guys, in Bradbury and Darius Slay. Two lockdown corners, guys who played the best as a tandem in the national.
Add some chicken in a can to the chicken soup to kind of beef it up. Because, when you get chicken soup, I've told you this before, you get chicken soup, there's no chicken in the chicken soup. You know what I mean? They put two little cubes of chicken in the chicken soup. So I put a can of chicken in the chicken soup to make it a hearty chicken soup. And then after I burned my tongue and I ran out of time before the show, I ran up here. I put the chicken soup, for those of you that are watching on WZZN TV, I put the chicken soup in my Chick-fil-A College Football Hall of Fame mug. And all the chicken went to the bottom, and I had to scoop it. It's a mess. Crackers were in the bottom. And all I did was burn my tongue. It's just terrible. All right, let me go to the lines. We start with Wolverine Dan. Wolverine Dan, welcome to the show. How are you?
What's up, brother? I've just got done power washing the fence and everything, so I'm going to get ready to seal it pretty soon.
I hear you.
Yeah, man. You know me. I don't stop, brother.
Yeah, I can't wait to get in my barn. You got to come over. I got to get you up here. You got to see the Garage Mahal. I mean, it is spectacular. And now I am ready to, now that everything is in place, and everything else is in place. Now I'm ready to start doing stuff, doing a little insulation, putting up pegboard, putting up my shelving units, putting up my rods on the wall. I got enough room for I got hangers now for 54 rods. So I think I can get all my rods up. 54 rods I can put up. So anything that doesn't go on a wall, I'm going to sell. That's what I'm going to do.
Okay, there you go. Well, let's do like a combo. Let's bring sticks out maybe, and play around.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, did you watch some of that eye candy last night?
Eye candy last night. What was last night that I missed? I didn't even get home till late.
In Detroit.
Oh, the Habs in Detroit were playing? I watched the Bruins and the Habs a couple of nights ago, but I did not watch any of Detroit. How did they do against the Habs? They do all right?
Well, Detroit won in overtime. And 4-3, and this guy is a young guy, big boy too, 6'4", big hoss.
Yeah.
His name is, and check this out for a hockey player. His last name is Rasputin.
How do you say it?
Rasputin.
Oh, Rasputin. Oh, that's his name, Rasputin. Yeah,
that's pretty good.
Yeah, it is pretty good. Yeah, next week I got to get Bo Estes in on the NBA, and I got to get Greg Wyshynski in on the NHL because we got to start looking at the NBA and the NHL a little bit, and I want to get into. There's a couple of stories that are really popping in the NHL. Scoring is up. The hockey has been great. We got a kid in Connor McDavid you might have 180 points this year. I mean, there's a lot going on.
Yeah, a lot going on. Well, anyway, the Habs were wearing a weird-looking uniform, dude. It was the Hab logo, but then it was like a powder blue outside. The rest
really?
What? Thom, it wasn't a good look. Anyway, real quickly, and I'll do my picks. But listen, all the fathers from the players that are playing on the team right now, all the fathers have been touring with this road tour they had. They've been going to every venue. Like tonight, they're going to go to the Islanders, and I think that's it. But they've been going, and you can see they show the guys when they score goals. The kids, they see the fathers going up there with beers and having a big time. And you know as well as I do, when you're a hockey parent, there's a lot of commitment there. So it's nice to see the daddies taking care of them, and taking care of daddies, at the sky booth with the beers,
It's a tradition in hockey to have the dad's trip. I think the Havoc do it. I mean, they have the dad's trip. It's a tradition where, all the fathers get together and they go, I'm looking at, what? That Habs uniform doesn't look bad. That powder blue, I'm not hating that. I don't like alternate uniform, but I am not hating that at all. I don't think that looks bad at all. Grizz, look up last night's Detroit-Montreal game and just see a picture of it because I want to get your opinion. I think that uniform is kind of sweet.
Okay, well, then,
just saying.
all. But you are right about the parents. They get, the dads.
Yeah.
It was really cool seeing all the dads. And Snyder's old man, he's a hippie, man. You got to see that guy. Looked like he had quite a few pops in him.
Yeah, I can hear that.
Anyway,
all right, let me get your picks in here.
Trifecta.
All right, Niners get 2.5 at the Eagles.
I got to go Eagles. You got to go Eagles.
E-A-G-L-E-S, Eagles!
You got a train running behind you there? What's up with that?
Yeah, there is. I got a train.
You got a train?
Yeah, I got a train. Yeah.
I didn't know that. Brock Purdy gets 30.5 yards against Jalen Hurts passing only.
Say that again?
Brock Purdy
plus
30.5 yards against Jalen Hurts passing yards only. So who'll have more passing yards? If you like Purdy, you get 30.5.
Oh, I'll take Purdy.
You're going to take Purdy, huh? Okay.
Who in the blue hell are you?
The Bengals get 1.5 at the Chiefs.
Oh, yeah, all day long. You're Bengals.
Yeah, you friggin' Bengals.
You don't live in Cleveland. You live in Cincinnati.
And Joe Burrow gets 5.5 yards against Patrick Mahomes.
I'll take Burrow.
So I eat a caramel apple sucker before every game, and then I always wear one sock inside out and the other one right side in.
Guy's a nut.
Hey, listen, I'm gonna go back to my Purdy pick. Let's go with Jalen. Forget Purdy.
All right, so you're going to take Jalen Hurts on that one. All right, good enough. We got you in, brother.
Okay, all right. Good luck on your beat the big dog, brah.
Yeah, that's right. You and I are going against each other and beat the big dog, brah.
Good luck,
brah.
See you, brah.
All
I like the jerseys, by the way. It's like Atlanta.
I like that.
Atlanta Thrashers, Channel Cats feel. They got that light blue color. I like it. I really like it.
I hate the Hurricanes and I hate the Capitals.
Oh yeah.
So I hate their uniforms that they're wearing in their Stadium Series thing. I just hate everything about
your
them.
boy Wyshynski too on that article.
Well, Wyshynski's on everything in ESPN. Ridiculous. Mark is in Huntsville. Mark, welcome to the show. How are you?
I'm doing well. Guys. I'm ready for the pick.
All right, so the 49ers get 2.5 at the Eagles.
Eagles.
E-A-G-L-E-S, Eagles!
Chad, we didn't ask Dan whether he wanted the Von Brewski tickets, so I'm going to give them to Mark. If Mark wants them, I'm going to give them to Mark.
I do.
So, you want them? Okay. All right. Listen then. Do you have Mark's information, Grizz? Do you know who Mark in Huntsville is? You got his full name?
No, not exactly, but he can call me back, and so he doesn't say it over the air what his last name is.
It's the second gospel. Oh, you know Mark already. Yeah. Okay. Well,
we know the
Blank.
first.
Hey, make you want to shout? That group, Blank Brothers.
Oh, the guys that
know about music.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Oh gosh.
Okay. Okay.
You got it, Grizz?
I got it.
You got it?
Yeah.
Okay. Make you want to shout. Okay.
Brock, we're gonna put your name. We're gonna put your name down there, and then your name will be at the gate when you go in there. When you go to it.
All right. Thank you.
2 tickets for you, $120 value. All right. Brock Purdy gets 30.5 yards against Jalen Hurts, passing only.
Jalen
Hurts, and he has now got 12 carries, 132 yards, and 3 touchdowns.
The Bengals get 1.5 at the Chiefs.
Let's see. Bengals 1.5. Oh yeah, I take the Bengals.
You don't live in Cleveland. You live in Cincinnati.
And Joe Burrow gets 5.5 yards against Patrick Mahomes, passing only.
I'll take Burrows.
So I eat a caramel apple sucker before every game. And
Yeah, I imagine he does. All right, Mark, we got you in. Grizz, you got the right Mark, right? So that you can take care of him. We'll give his name down
the
there.
Blank Brothers. I got it.
The Blank Brothers.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Job by you, Mark.
Thank you, guys.
All right.
Okay.
Appreciate
Bye-bye.
you. All right, bye. LSU Lynch is up next. Lynch, welcome to the show. How are you?
Son, it's Friday. It's great to be here.
It is the greatest day of the week. No doubt about it.
Is it not?
Yeah. At least on the show. I mean, if I was doing the show from church, I would say that was the greatest show of the week, because I really enjoy church. But this is the greatest show of the week, Monday through Friday.
So you got the greatest job. You have investors that pay you to go catch a big fish that you can't even eat.
You are that I could, but that I don't.
You've got the best job ever.
I am so blessed, Lynch. You would not imagine it. You would not imagine it. My rod and reel sponsor, they've sent me 16 rods and reels, and they're $300 a piece, combos, and they told me, retail. And they told me, when are you going to finish the rest of your order? I'm like, I can't order anything. They're like, you got like another 14 or 15 rods you can get and reels. So, I mean, it just blessed beyond belief, no doubt. Get paid to go fishing.
When I was in the Air Force, I told you I was down in Panama, and the biggest peacock bass that I caught was 8 pounds. And, the little 4 or 5 pounders down there, and those fish, man, they just attack everything. We just fish with a little silver spoon.
Yeah.
I mean, no live bait with them, and they just came out 4 or 5 at a time, dude.
Yeah. Let me tell you something. A peacock bass, you hook a 5-pound peacock up to a 5-pound largemouth, and the peacock will pull the scales off the largemouth. I mean, they're ridiculous. They're incredible, a peacock bass. Oh.
Well, son, let's get to these picks.
49ers get 2.5 at the Eagles.
I got to go with my Niners.
Joe Montana was a quarterback, you idiot.
Quarterback. Everybody knows he was a quarterback. Brock Purdy gets 30.5 yards against Jalen Hurts.
We're going Purdy.
Who in the blue hell are you?
The Bengals get 1.5 at the Chiefs.
We're going Cincinnati.
You don't live in Cleveland. You live in Cincinnati.
And Burrow gets 5.5 yards against Mahomes.
Oh, yes, sir. We're going Burrow.
Really?
So I eat a caramel apple sucker before every game.
Oh, man. All right. Caramel
Hey,
apple
y'all have
sucker.
a great weekend. Let's go.
All right, man. Appreciate you. It's a good job by him. All right, let's get a break in here. And when we come back, we're going to talk to Alan Bell Jr., get his take on these games as well. It's coming up next right here on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
You're listening to the Thom Abraham Show on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Tom Luganbill here for my friends at Woody Anderson Ford. Bobby White and his team take great pride in their service department, and you can see it the moment you walk into those beautiful new service lanes. And just like a championship team, they all work together to make sure your experience is second to none, whether you drive a Ford or not. Also, check out the gold certified pre-owned inventory at Woody Anderson Ford for great deals every day. Stop by and see them at Jordan and Sparkman or at Woody Anderson of Madison on Hughes Road, or visit WoodyAndersonFord.com.
TOC Sports has been there for you. Now, you're probably asking yourself, what does that mean? It means for more than 20 years, Alabama's largest orthopedic group has been there providing coverage and care to more schools and student athletes in the Tennessee Valley than any other group. It means whether you are the star football player, the all-region volleyball ace, or someone who hurt their knee in a weekend pickup basketball game, TOC Sports physicians are proud to have the opportunity to care for all your orthopedic needs. It means for parents, coaches, athletes, desk jockeys, or even weekend warriors, TOC Sports physicians continue to meet and exceed the orthopedic and sports medicine needs of our community. But most importantly, during these challenging times, we're here for you now, and will continue to be here. So as long as there are players on the field, games to be played, and contests to be won, the orthopedic specialists from TOC Sports will be ready to help. We don't know what the future holds, but you can count on the TOC Sports team to stay committed to you, so you can stay in the game. Call 256-539-2728 today and ask to see a TOC Sports physician. Check them out online, also Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
Ann Adams with Berkshire Hathaway Rise Real Estate is the one name to know if you're buying or selling real estate. With years of local experience, Ann Adams offers buyers in-depth knowledge of the local housing market and will narrow available properties down to those you'll be interested in so you can save time when shopping for your new home. If you're ready to sell, Ann offers a seamless process using accurate pricing and expert negotiation skills to make sure you get a fair price for your home. Call Ann Adams today at 256-337-2625 or log on bhhsriserealestate.com.
The new year is here, and so are the resolutions. If you've resolved to give your home a new look, then now is the perfect time to shop Brooks & Collier's clearance room. And under the big tent, we've got deep discounts on a great selection of beautiful in-stock, indoor, and outdoor furniture. Lucy and I think it's also a great time to browse our new outdoor spring collections. Brooks & Collier, North Alabama's source for your indoor and outdoor living lifestyle. 813 Meridian Street and at brooksandcollier.com.
When you call most roofing companies, all you'll hear is, you need a new roof. Not when you call Fleming. At Fleming Roofing and Restoration, we're focused on your needs, whether it's an easy repair or a full roof replacement. Folks around here have trusted Fleming since 1965 for all their residential and commercial roofing needs. And as the area's storm damage experts, Fleming knows all the ins and outs of the insurance claims process. Log on FlemingHSV.com to schedule your free estimate today. Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We show up.
Sitting here with Mark Kent of Southern Fidelity Mortgage Group of Huntsville. Mark, do you help pre-qualify people?
We pre-qualify people all the time, Wes. As a matter of fact, I love having them coming in here because when they come in and they pre-qualify, they can leave my office knowing exactly how much they can buy and have no worries.
Mark, tell me about your rates and pricing.
Well, Wes, this is something we're really, really proud of. Long story short is, I love being able to provide the best pricing in town. Honestly, I cannot tell you the last time I lost a deal to either rate or pricing, something I'm very proud of.
So what all financing options do you have, Mark?
We do several different things. If you're purchasing a home, we can handle the purchase. If you're wanting to refinance your home, of course, rates are at the lowest they've been in the last 3 years. We do a lot of refinancing. If you're building a home, we can handle the entire process from breaking ground to the final close.
Do you sleep with your phone?
Wes, if you want to reach me, you can call me at my office phone, which is 256-562-1000. But always remember, I sleep with my cell phone at night. That number is 256-656-5936.
From the Fox 54 Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. A mostly sunny sky this afternoon, making for a really nice end of the work week. Temperatures climbing into the lower 50s, dropping into the low and mid-30s as we head into the overnight, early into your Saturday morning. We're going to start Saturday off with plenty of sunshine, but then cloud cover's quickly going to build into the area once we get to Saturday afternoon, and especially as we head into Saturday evening. Temperatures climbing into the mid and upper 50s on Saturday. I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman on your home for ESPN Radio, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
The Drive with Wes Neighbors and Steve Moulton. Listen weekday afternoons starting at 5 on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
It's perfect!
Segment of the show brought to you by the Orthopedic Center, taking care of the Tennessee Valley for well over 20 years. The docs at the Orthopedic Center, they got specialists for everything. You got a foot, you got an ankle, you got a high ankle sprain like that one there, Patrick Mahomes. They got a guy for that. You got shoulder injury, you got whatever you got. They've got a doc for you at the Orthopedic Center, and they always step up. Tom Perkins and the crew down there in the docks, they always step up and help us out with whatever events that we got going on. When we have something going on, whatever it is that we're doing charity-wise or bringing you a special coverage of a high school event or something like that, TOC steps up. And what the heck, they're taking care of, 90% of the high schools in the Tennessee Valley anyway, so it makes a lot of sense. They're just great folks down there at the Orthopedic Center. All right, joining us now on the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline and on WZZN TV. Another great guy, does a tremendous job for CBS Sportsline. He is Alan Bell. AB, welcome back. How are you, my friend?
Big dog, doing fantastic, buddy. You doing all right?
I am great as well. I mean, there's no better day than Football Friday, these 2 hours that we do our Friday trifecta. And, of course, we're heading towards a very, very competitive championship weekend. And it's amazing. Vegas is telling us that these three of these four teams have the same exact chance of winning the Super Bowl, and the 49ers are the fourth one, and they're not far behind. And these games are extremely tight with the lines, 2.5 at Philadelphia, 1.5 at Kansas City, and the one at Kansas City's flip-flop back and forth between who was going to be favored by 1.5. I mean, this is incredible. I don't know if we're going to get two great games, but we certainly have two very competitive-looking games going in.
Yeah, we certainly do, right? You speak about the lines. I mean, I think it's been 20 years since we've had two championship games, with lines that were under 3, in both of them. So, yeah, man, we've got the opportunity to have two great games, and I hope that we do. You look at all four of these teams, me and my buddies were just talking earlier today. I wouldn't mind any scenario of any of these teams in the Super Bowl. Right. None of them would bother me, right? I think it'd be a good game all the way around. And, you spoke about the Bengals Chiefs. It's jumped the fence twice. And anybody out there, really doesn't do sports betting all that much. Jumping the fence means jumping over 0, right? So we've seen, the Chiefs favored, Bengals favored, Chiefs are favored again. So, just goes to show you, man, we're gonna have some good ones. Hope so, at least.
And just for me, because I'm old school, the game needs to be outside on grass, and here we are. I know it's going to be unseasonably warm in Philadelphia. No weather forecast there. It's going to be brutally cold in Kansas City. It's probably going to be in the teens during that game with 12-mile-an-hour winds and so on. So the wind chill could be around 0. But look, man, outdoors on grass. That's the way it's supposed to be in January. I don't want to see these games in domes and antiseptic, places and things like that. I don't want to see that. I want to see games outside on grass.
Yeah, you know what? I completely agree, and we're going to have it, right? We saw, these teams, obviously, the Chiefs, number 1 seed playing at home. We saw the Bengals go to the Bills last week, and you're right, man. It's going to be unseasonably warm in Philadelphia this weekend. But, yeah, I'm with you. Outdoors, grass, let's get it going. And, for Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs, let me say this. All right. So, as of right now, today, he's played in 12 total postseason games in his NFL career. Okay? 10 of those at home at Arrowhead. The other 2, Super Bowls. So, if you're in the AFC, buddy, you're going through Kansas City where it's cold and it's outdoors.
Yeah, and I don't know that there's any end in sight. I mean, they're still very young. They've turned that team over a little bit, and they continue to get young. I mean, there's no reason to think that they won't continue to be highly competitive as as we move forward. It just seems it's weird. Everybody is on Bengals and Joe Burrow. The Burrowwood crack. Or what are they calling it? Burrowhead instead of Arrowhead, right? The defensive back, they called it Burrowhead instead of Arrowhead. And, Travis Kelce noticed that. They've been talking about it. It was Mike Hilton that called it Burrowhead after the Buffalo game. We're headed for Burrowhead. Yeah, that didn't set well. You're not doing your team any favors. You didn't have to go there.
No, you didn't help Joe Burrow at all, right? And, we know that, Joe Burrow's 3-0 against Patrick Mahomes. Only one of those wins was in Arrowhead, by the way, right? The other two were in Cincinnati. But the fact that he is 3-0 against Patrick Mahomes is pretty incredible in and of itself. And the fascinating part, all three of those games decided exactly by 3 points in each one of them.
Yeah, it is something. So are we looking at, is this Brady and Manning again, all over again? And I don't want to say which one's Brady and which one's Manning because Brady dominated Manning in the playoffs. But it feels like this next generation's Brady and Manning will be Burrow and Mahomes.
Yeah, well, here's the fascinating part, right? Like, I think you're exactly right. Although in the regular season, it feels like it's Mahomes and Allen that's Brady and Manning, right? And then Joe Burrow just comes out of nowhere at the end of the season, seemingly each time in his career now. It's like, okay, hey, I guess we're just going to throw like Montana into this mix. Like, I don't know where he fits. But yeah, I'm with you. Like, it just goes to show that the talent level of quarterbacks, not only across the NFL, but the AFC is incredible. And I mean, once Tom Brady went out, Patrick Mahomes was the oldest quarterback, Dak Prescott, right? Like, man, these quarterbacks are good and they're young. So we're going to see this for a while for sure.
Well, when you look at the AFC, as you said, I mean, not only do we have these two guys, but you got to deal with Josh Allen. Justin Herbert seems to be coming on, right? There's hope at least for the Pickett kid, in Pittsburgh. The wild card is really Deshaun Watson. This guy was a superstar 3 years ago, and he massaged his way to Cleveland, and now, he didn't look good in his last 5 or 6 games they're playing for the Browns, but who knows with a full year of preparation and what he'll look like next year. So that's out there as well. I mean, Tua Tagovailoa was looking like the MVP of the league until he got hurt with his annual injury. But when you look at you got the Trevor Lawrence that came on late in the season. I mean, the AFC's loaded, where the NFC is the conference of all the old dudes, you know what I mean? And that's where all the old guys are. And that kind of has allowed a Jalen Hurts, who was the 4th quarterback picked in his draft, and a Brock Purdy, who was the last guy picked in last year's draft. Those guys are playing in a conference championship game. It's like they don't have the glitzy, sexy quarterbacks in the NFC, and this is what you get.
Yeah, it is. You got blue collar union work, baby, in the NFC. Yeah. That's what you got right there, right? What I'm fascinated with that game with the Eagles and 49ers is that you're going to have an unbelievable chess match between the Eagles offense, 49ers defense, but also the Eagles defense with 75 sacks this year going up against, a young cat in Brock Purdy, quarterback for the 49ers. I mean, it is going to be, back and forth. And also, you look at Jalen Hurts, all right? He led the NFL this season in completion percentage, touchdown passes, and overall quarterback rating in passes that were 25 yards or deeper this season, all right? 49ers defense ranks bottom 5 in every single one of those categories, all of them, right? So you got a pretty good offensive line with Philly. Like, if they get time, Jalen could beat them deep, or the 49ers defense prepares for that, and Jalen beat you on the ground, right? Like, I'm so fascinated to watch both.
Yeah, there's no doubt. And in that game, I mean, Brock Purdy. I mean, think of all of the first-round quarterbacks that got drafted, all of the guys that were number 1 overall pick and all of that kind of stuff. Brock Purdy, in the 57-year history of the Super Bowl, is trying to become the first rookie quarterback to win or to start a Super Bowl. I mean, I think he's the 5th one to start a conference championship game, and the other 4 all lost. And so he's trying to be the first one ever, and I just can't see it. I just don't see it in my head. I can't see it at the end of the day how Brock Purdy is going to get through and be starting in the Super Bowl next year or next week or 2 weeks.
Yeah,
Whatever the hell they're playing.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. Yeah, it's difficult. Like, I mean, like when looking at both of these games, and I'm not saying this is going to happen because legitimately any game script scenario could happen in both of these games. But I think if there's an opportunity for one team to kind of blow another team out, it could be Philly, right? Because what San Francisco does and what they have to do is score early, punch touchdowns in, let Brock play from ahead, right? Run the football, use your guys. You know what? Philly scores awful quickly, too. They've actually scored more points in the first half than San Francisco has this year, and they run up-tempo fast, and their defense can get after you. Like, that could be a nightmare scenario for the 49ers. So I think the Eagles in the first half in terms of their scoring is absolutely something to pay attention to because that could get bad. But then, you know what? Like, we say it every week, and then, like, Brock Purdy, not only is he winning these games, and obviously their defense, all their players, but, like, he's figured out somehow where, like, even his passes don't get intercepted that absolutely should be intercepted.
Right.
It's just crazy. Yeah.
Can you name, and I don't want to put you on a spot here, can you name any of the other 4 rookie quarterbacks that started and lost a conference championship game?
Ooh.
Because it's interesting to think about the careers of these guys. I'm going to tell you, I'll give you a hint. Nope. One of them is going to go to the Hall of Fame. All right, I'm going to start there. He started against the Steelers in the 2000, or he started against, I gave it away. This is Steelers. He started against the Patriots, Ben Roethlisberger.
All right, okay, so Roethlisberger, yeah.
Yeah, so he in 2004, Steelers, Patriots, and he lost. Another one went on to win a Super Bowl, get paid, and his career immediately flamed out. 2008 at the Steelers.
Yeah.
Rookie.
I don't know.
Won playoff games in each of his first 5 seasons. Joe Flacco.
Oh,
Joe
that's
Flacco
right. Okay, yeah,
as
yeah.
a rookie. And then the other 2 completely flamed out. I don't want to put this on Brock Purdy, but I mean, this is the company he's keeping because you think about it, these guys. Here's one that started a AFC Conference Championship game in his first 2 seasons. 2009, 2010, against the Colts in 2009 is when he was a rookie.
Against the Colts?
Against the Colts.
Huh.
And got beat.
Yeah. I don't know who.
Mark Sanchez.
Wow.
Remember Mark Sanchez, right?
Those Jets defenses, yeah.
Yes, remember with Rex Ryan. And then the last one you would never get, so I'm not even going to tease it. It's 1979. Sean King was a rookie with the Buccaneers. He started at the Rams and lost. So I'm just saying, Mark Sanchez, Sean King, Brock Purdy, it's not like a guarantee just because he's starting in a conference championship game as a rookie that he's now going to have this long and storied career. They still got to deal with this next year. And they got to deal with what they still have, Trey Lance in there, and Jimmy Garoppolo is going to be he's going to be a free agent. But Garoppolo might be ready by the Super Bowl. Garoppolo's got the same exact numbers as Purdy does. They're identical in their numbers. But 2 more weeks, Garoppolo will probably be dressed for the Super Bowl at least. He'll be backing them up.
Oh, yeah. And then, not that Garoppolo's going to start that, but it would be fascinating to see how that – I mean, you got to roll with the kid. But like you said, next year is the interesting part, right? Like if you're the 49ers, and you're looking at it saying, okay – does a quarterback actually even matter here? Like, let's just go as least expensive as possible. But then, you got Garoppolo free agency, like you said. You got, Trey Lance, who's obviously, on a rookie deal. Like, that part is fascinating, to me, that they could be that good, with just the system and the defense. And you're also going to be losing to D'Amico Ryans, too. He's probably going to be a coach of the Denver Broncos, so that's also something to pay attention to. Yeah.
I don't understand why Broncos. I don't understand why he wouldn't. I mean, why wouldn't Houston be all over D'Amico Ryans?
Yeah,
why would they not want to bring that guy back to Houston? I don't get the Broncos. I don't want it to happen because I hate the Broncos. And here's another. Hey, if you're Rand Carthen, do you offer a 3rd-round draft pick for Trey Lance? So
man, you know what? That's another fascinating thing, right? Like, do you look at that, or do you look at, like, Jimmy Garoppolo, even though his price is going to be way too high? Yeah, like, that could be another option, too. Or, let me say this. Like, the Titans still have to get an offensive coordinator here. Rand might be saying, look, I've done this with Brock Purdy. Like, just let me get my hands over here, like, with Malik Willis. Like, let me get some guys around here. You know what I mean? So it's that part's fascinating as well. You're 100% right.
I've seen enough of Malik Willis. I
think so. Me too.
I don't think it's going to happen there. All right,
when they don't let you throw anymore, like that's a bad sign. It's a bad.
Here's
sign.
Here's another little tidbit on Brock Purdy. Okay, these are just things. Well, you've been knowing me long enough. You know,
we know a thing or two because we've seen a thing or two.
I've been around a minute. You know what I mean? I've been around for a minute, right? So Brock Purdy, if they win and he's the starting quarterback in the Super Bowl, he will eclipse by days Dan Marino as the youngest quarterback ever to start a Super Bowl. Now, Marino was in his second year at that time, but he will eclipse Dan Marino as the youngest quarterback ever to start a Super Bowl. Now, how's this for serendipity? He wears number 13 because Dan Marino was his father's favorite player. His father was a huge Dolphin fan, and the reason Purdy wears 13 is to honor Dan Marino. How cool would that be? And who did Dan Marino go against in his one and only Super Bowl? The 49ers. So Purdy could be wearing number 13 for the 49ers and be the youngest quarterback ever to start the Super Bowl passing Dan Marino. So that's an NFL serendipitous moment.
It is. Like, first off, that's unbelievable and a great pull by you on that. Number two, it sounds like I need to just place a little sprinkle, on the 49ers on this play here because it sounds like life is setting this thing up nicely here.
Yeah. Yeah, it might be. It just might be. Although, on the other hand, 70 sacks. I'll take the Eagles. Give me your picks. I'm on the Eagles and the Chiefs. I'm taking the home teams. What do you got?
Yep. You know what? I'm going to go with the Eagles. I'm going to roll with the Bengals as well. I think that, you know what? They're just this team's just on a mission, man. Like, I'm going to roll them till they tell me not to, and they haven't done that yet whatsoever. They win. They cover. Joe Burrow is he's a machine, man. So I'll roll the Bengals. I'll roll the Eagles.
We're using a couple of props, too, today for the Friday trifecta. We got Purdy plus 30.5 yards against Jalen Hurts, passing only. Purdy's over-under is 219. Hurts is 249, so we're going with 30.5. So give me Purdy plus 30.5 against Jalen Hurts, and Burrow is plus 5.5 yards against Mahomes, passing only.
I like those. I'm with you on that. I'll give you two more. Patrick Mahomes over half an interception. I'm worried there might be a little bit of injury still lingering there with his ankle. And then the second one, Jalen Hurts, longest completion over 38.5 yards for all the stats that we mentioned earlier with how deep that offense can go. Not to mention he's hit this number, I think, in 4 of his last 5 games. So, yep, those are the two I got.
I like it. Good stuff. All right, man. Appreciate you as always. Great stuff.
I appreciate Big Dog. You have a good weekend. Thank you.
All right, thank you. We'll get a break. We will come back and wrap up this hour next right here on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Hi, Bobby White back again for Woody Anderson Ford, inviting you to kickstart the new year with 0% interest. We've got financing as low as 0% APR for 36 months on 2022 and 2023 models of F-150, Explorer, Edge, and Escape. Plus, there's an extra $1,000 bonus cash on F-150 XLT. Come on in to Woody Anderson Ford today and choose from over 100 F-150s and nearly 50 Explorers. I bet you can find exactly what you're looking for. And we've also got longer-term financing as low as 4.9% for up to 72 months. It's available on 2022 F-150, Explorer, Edge, Escape, and Mustang. With your good credit, these offers are through Ford Motor Credit. Offers end January 31st. At Woody Anderson Ford, we'd be glad to walk you through the online ordering, too. Plus, you'll get $1,000 bonus cash. Come see us and let's get 2023 off to a great start. Woody Anderson Ford, Jordan at Sparkman. Hope to see you soon.
Who knows comfort? Well, comfort is our middle name. If your home isn't as comfortable as you want it to be, we can fix that. We service all makes and brands of heating and cooling systems, even if we didn't install them. So give us a call at Environmental Comfort Systems or visit our website at envcomfort.com. We are your independently owned American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer. Alabama license number 92314. Environmental Comfort Systems. That's envcomfort.com.
Normally, when you call a roofing company, all you hear is, you need a new roof. Not when you call Fleming Roofing and Restoration. Since 1965, the folks at Fleming have been focused on what you need, whether it's an easy repair or a full roof replacement, commercial or residential. And when it comes to storm damage, you want Fleming on your side. They know all the ins and outs of insurance claims and will guide you through the entire process. Log on FlemingHSV.com and book your free estimate today. Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We show up.
Champy's Famous Fried Chicken started in Chattanooga, but the history of the fried chicken, hand-rolled Mississippi Delta tamales, and comfort food sides started decades before. Champy's Famous Fried Chicken is made from an old family recipe from down in the Delta, and everything is fresh and homemade, including all of the sides and desserts. Come visit Champy's Famous Fried Chicken. You'll find it's the best fried chicken and hand-rolled tamales you've ever had. On Madison Boulevard in the old Bison's location in the Publix Plaza with 22 taps in the full-service bar and 2 outdoor patios. See ya at Champy's.
And now, a man who knows what you ate for breakfast.
Time now for the biggest thinker of them all.
He knows it all. He is Drew DeArmond. Listen to Drew and Scott Tyson weekday mornings. It's Talkin' Ball on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Welcome back, Tom Abraham Show. All right, Grizz, let me ask you a question. I'm going to name 3 artists, all right? And as I name the 3 artists, you tell me if you know who they are, all right? These 3 artists, okay?
Okay.
All right, the first one is Chris Stapleton.
Yes.
Yes. You know who Chris
Stapleton
Stapleton
of him, yes.
You know of him?
Yes.
Not listen to a lot of Chris Stapleton?
Not a whole lot, but yes, I
Okay.
know of him, yes.
Drop a little Tennessee whiskey during the break, and you'll hear Chris Stapleton in a unique sound that he has.
I know that song.
Chris Stapleton. The second one is Babyface. Do you know Baby? Would you know Babyface if you saw him? You'd say, "Hey, there's Babyface."
No, I wouldn't know it. Like I'd have to look it up. I've heard of the name. I'm pretty sure though.
Yeah. And then the third one is Cheryl Lee Ralph.
No.
You ever hear of Cheryl Lee Ralph?
No.
Okay. So a lot of people, apparently, social media is going nuts over the fact that Chris Stapleton is singing the national anthem. And they're like, at the Super Bowl. And they're like, who the hell is Chris Stapleton? I can't believe they picked that guy. Who's that guy? Babyface is singing America the Beautiful. I don't know who the hell Babyface is. And Lift Every Voice and Sing is being sung by Cheryl Lee Ralph. She's on some show, some TV show now. She's 66 years old, and she's singing that song, which, thankfully, they don't call the Black National Anthem anymore. They used to call it the Black National Anthem, which is really disrespectful because we're all black and white and yellow and brown, and we have one national anthem, and it'll be sung by Chris Stapleton. All right, we'll be back. Kyle Madsen is next, talking 49.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. Chiefs coach Andy Reid making it seem as though quarterback Patrick Mahomes won't be very limited in the AFC Championship game versus the Bengals Sunday. He said Mahomes can still move his feet, and he's got a good enough arm. Mahomes continues to get treatment on his high ankle sprain, was a full participant at practice this week. He said he still feels like he can do a lot of things, even though he's not sure how close he'll be to operating to his full capacity on Sunday. 49ers running back Christian McCaffrey missed practice this week because of a bruised calf, but he says there is zero chance he misses Sunday's NFC title game against the Eagles. Coach Kyle Shanahan expressed optimism McCaffrey and running back Elijah Mitchell will both play. Mitchell missed practice with a groin issue. NHL, the Maple Leafs will be without center Austin Matthews for at least 3 weeks because of a knee sprain. He was injured in Wednesday night's win over the Rangers.
WZZN, Union Grove, Huntsville, Alabama. 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Greeny with Mike Greenberg.
This is Mike Greenberg. Be sure and download the app today. Just search for 97.7 ESPN and listen to my show every weekday right here on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Thom Luganbill here for my friends at Woody Anderson Ford. Bobby White and his team take great pride in their service department, and you can see it the moment you walk into those beautiful new service lanes. And just like a championship team, they all work together to make sure your experience is second to none, whether you drive a Ford or not. Also, Check out the gold certified pre-owned inventory at Woody Anderson Ford for great deals every day. Stop by and see them at Jordan and Sparkman or at Woody Anderson of Madison on Hughes Road, or visit WoodyAndersonFord.com.
It's the event beer lovers wait for all year. The 7th Annual Von Brewski Beer Festival, presented by Publix. Enjoy over 120 brews from over 50 breweries, plus live music, hot pretzels, brats, and more. Saturday, January 28th in the VBC South Hall. Tickets available at VonBraunCenter.com or at the VBC box office. Admission is $50 in advance or $60 at the door. Non-beer sampling tickets are just $15 and the cash bar will be open. Must be 21 or older for entry.
Online at 977ESPN.com.
Stream them online.
Call in.
It's an important job, and it's an vital organization.
Tweet in and join in. We are 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
You need to be more like a dog.
Like what you guys are doing. You've got your fingertip on the pulse of your listeners. You guys know what they're talking about.
Be a dog.
God bless the show. You are the Messiah.
We need more dogs.
This is the best show on radio.
The big dog, Thom Abraham, is here with you.
Hey, I see you. I see you, dog.
So settle in and get your bark on.
That's my dog.
Now live. Here he is, the big dog.
Let's go, baby!
Thom Abraham.
How you doing? 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 How you doing?
Look, I don't speak Spanish.
I don't know how to say this, so I'm going to choose my words very carefully. I think you're a psycho.
Do you know who I am?
I mean, that guy sounds like El McPherson farting into Miles Davis' trumpet.
I guess I'm on here. Am I on? Can somebody respond?
Get off my
I have to drag my Yankee ass out of here. And welcome back. Hour number 2 of the Thom Abraham Show. This segment of the show is brought to you by Woody Anderson Ford all throughout the Tennessee Valley. Woody Anderson Ford has the service department for you. And all you got to do is take a look at that service department. You see how beautiful the service lanes are. And that'll tell you something about how they're going to take care of your vehicle. They take pride in their service lanes. They're going to take pride in your vehicle. Their certified gold pre-owned vehicles are sweet as well. Low mileage, one owner, serviced by Woody Anderson Ford. It's tremendous. I've got an F-150 in the driveway and my wife's ragtop Mustang in the driveway from Woody Anderson Ford, so I suggest that you do the same exact thing. All right, as we continue to look at things for this weekend, of course, coming up on Sunday, we have got the conference championship games. The NFC game is salty, just like the AFC game is. It'll be the San Francisco 49ers at Jalen Hurts and those Philadelphia Eagles. And joining us now to talk about it is Kyle Madsen. He's the managing editor of Niners Wire out there in wine country, and he's also post-game on 95.7, the game for the 49ers as well. And he joins us on the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline. Kyle, welcome to the show. How are you?
I'm hanging in there, man. Glad we're at the end of the week, and glad we're just a couple days from the NFC Championship game. Super fired up.
I mean, both these championship games. I mean, this is the close. I've been alive for the entire Super Bowl era, and this is certified by Vegas the tightest championship weekend in the history in the Super Bowl era, and no matter what the matchup is for the Super Bowl, it's 1.5 or a pick 'em any way you cut it. I mean, these four teams all have an excellent chance to win the Super Bowl. This is really quite amazing to see these four teams here.
Yeah, and just, I mean, you said it, just how tightly contested kind of they all are, the different matchup problems every team presents for the other. I think it's really, really fascinating. But interestingly enough, like, I actually think that in my mind, and maybe it's the Chiefs, it's Patrick Mahomes, and we have to see how bad that ankle is. But I think the biggest upset would be the 49ers going into Philly with Brock Purdy and winning. Like, that's kind of, I think if I'm ranking all the possibilities and all the outcomes for this weekend in the Super Bowl, I think that's kind of probably the longest shot.
And I don't disagree with you because it's Brock Purdy. I mean, I know he's up for Offensive Rookie of the Year, and I know he's been magic and all of that kind of stuff. But full disclosure here, I'm a little bit of a Jimmy Garoppolo guy. I got a little man crush on Jimmy Garoppolo, you know what I mean? And as a Cleveland Browns fan, I'll be honest with you, before they did the Deshaun Watson thing, I was like, bring in Jimmy Garoppolo if you want to get a guy because you got a great running game. This guy will knows how to lead a team to a championship. All he does is win games. And the dirty little secret is Garoppolo and Purdy's numbers are almost identical. I mean, across the board, almost identical. And I know Jimmy's not going to be ready this week, but you start to wonder, what if they do make the Super Bowl and it's 2 more weeks down the road? We know Jimmy's practicing. I mean, are we looking at Earl Morrall and Bob Greasy here? I mean, at what point in time do you just say, you got to dress Jimmy and see what happens?
I don't think that happens this year. It's just the fact that he's not even practicing this week. And even if he does practice next week, like if Brock Purdy goes into Philly and wins, he's starting the Super Bowl, and he's very likely going to be the starter next year. I don't think it's that big of a question. Now, if he wasn't playing well and they were scraping by and just kind of, it's like, wow, this quarterback situation is dire, they need Jimmy back, then that'd be one thing. But I mean, he hasn't lost yet, and this is the biggest test coming up for him on Sunday. And if he passes that, like I said, I have a hard time believing that anyone's going to start over him now or in the near future.
Yeah, and Jimmy didn't have Christian McCaffrey most of his time as well as Brock Purdy has had that. Plus, Brock Purdy has had the benefit of playing, I think 6 of his 8 starts have been at home. He hasn't left the Pacific time zone in the 2 road games that he played, so all of those things are in play. But since you mentioned next year, I'll bring it up. I mean, okay, so Jimmy's going to be able to be a free agent. That was part of the deal. He's going to get paid, I believe, for the half a year that he'll play next year before he gets hurt. And then that brings us Trey Lance. I mean, and Rand Carthen is now in Nashville. We got a lot of Tennessee Titan fans listening, and they wonder, would Rand Carthen possibly be working a deal to bring Trey Lance out of the Bay Area? Or do you think that they're still committed to Trey Lance being there and competing with Brock Purdy?
So I think that, I think they're committed to that because I don't think they're going to get an offer that's going to move them.
Mm-hmm.
Like Mike Silver, a columnist for the San Francisco Chronicle, he's done stuff with Sports Illustrated in the NFL. He's really, really well plugged in. He said that execs estimate that the Niners would get like a third for Trey Lance.
That's crazy. 2 years ago, he was the 3rd pick overall. I mean, now, yeah, it's crazy.
It is. It's wild. Just kind of, but his stock even going into that draft was kind of all over the place.
Yeah.
So if the Niners are only getting a third, they're just not going to give away a guy with that upside. Who, like, has he played well in his brief stints as the starter?
No.
Not particularly. Like, he hasn't been great. But it's also not like set in stone that he's bad at football.
Right.
And when you look at a guy with his size and his skill set and a big arm, and then you go watch Josh Allen, it's like, yeah, hey, if this guy develops into Josh Allen, you want him on your roster, right?
Yeah.
So if Rand Carthon is all about it and really wants Trey Lance, and they're going to give the Niners a first and something else, then the Niners, I think, are listening. But if it's going to be a third, and Tennessee already has Malik Willis, who's a little bit of a project in his own right.
Yeah.
So if they're going to do that, I imagine they'd want to hold on to their picks and just kind of see what Malik Willis can do.
Well, it's not out of the realm of possibility he could go for something that low. I mean, look, Baker Mayfield and Sam Darnold were 1-2 in the draft, and they got traded for like a ball of twang and some marbles, I think. I mean, I don't even know what they got for, 5th-round picks or something along those lines. Kyle Madsen with us here talking some San Francisco 49ers. All right, so Purdy, this isn't like it's been an offense that is geared – I'm throwing the ball all over the lot and having to throw for 350 yards a game. And the genius of this is that you got the best defense in the NFL. And it seems like Kyle Shanahan is content to play into his defense with a great running game. What is the key for them to pull this? As you say, this would be the biggest upset. They're only 2.5-point dog. But if they were to pull this upset, what is the key for the 49ers to be heading to the Super Bowl again?
I think there's a couple of things. So they have to keep Brock Purdy upright. Like what Dallas did to the Niners interior of their offensive line is what worries me the most about Philly. Mm-hmm. If they can keep Brock Purdy upright where he's not having to go scramble drill every play, I think he got pressured on like half of his snaps, like 48% of his dropbacks against the Cowboys. And that's just not tenable for any quarterback. Like forget the Mr. Irrelevant part. For any quarterback.
Yeah.
Like that's just not a way to be successful. So they have to figure out how to keep him clean and allow guys like Brandon Ayuk and like George Kittle and allow Deebo Samuel to get a little separation in the passing game. But that said, with James Bradbury and Darius Slay at the two corner spots for Philly, I don't know how easy that's going to be. So I'm expecting a ton of quick throws, a lot of play action, a lot of screens. Just try and slow that defensive line down a lot. Jimmy Garoppolo last year when the Niners played the Eagles threw 9 screen passes, and I think all but 7 of his throws were within 10 yards of the line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
And that's not super atypical, but I think that's what we're really going to see with Purdy, because as good as he is at breaking the pocket and scrambling and buying time, that's not what you want to see on the road in a playoff game. So they have to get the run game going. I think we know that. But it's going to come down to Purdy and whether he can convert on some third downs. Can he not turn the ball over? And then when they get in the red zone, can they turn those red zone trips into touchdowns?
Yeah, no doubt about it. And folks in these parts loved him some DeMeco Ryans. He was he was only a 2-star coming out of high school at Alabama. He overperformed, obviously, at Alabama. He overperformed when he got to the NFL, and now he's overperforming as a defensive coordinator. I mean, you only got him for 1 or 2 more games, right? I mean, there's no doubt that somebody's got to hire this guy, and that he's going to do a tremendous job. It would just seem like, he's going to be great. What DeMeco Ryans has meant to that team and that defense, it can't be understated.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. And the most incredible thing is he was playing football in the NFL in 2015.
Yeah.
That's unreal. That's the year Kyle Shanahan got to Atlanta.
Yeah, he was like a DC on the field, though. You know what I mean? He was one of those guys, on the field. He was like a coordinator almost.
Yeah, and he steps in as the assistant linebackers coach for the Niners in 2017, gets bumped up to linebackers coach, and then a couple years later he's a defensive coordinator and has just been awesome. And the thing that's been incredible is when Robert Saleh left, everybody in the know around that building and around the facility was like, DeMeco's the guy. Like, DeMeco's going to be great. Just mark it in Sharpie. DeMeco Ryans is going to be the next thing.
Yeah.
And he just has been. So he had interviews for a head coaching spot last year, and I think this whole year everybody's kind of known, like, okay, this is the last year with DeMeco. Yeah. And he's been so good that there's just not another guy lined up. Like, there's no DeMeco Ryans, I think, waiting in the wings. So how the Niners respond to that is going to be something that kind of, I think, makes or breaks their season next year.
Kyle Madsen with us here. He's the managing editor of Niners Wire out west, talking about the game between the 49ers and the Eagles coming up. This feels like, we could see an old-fashioned slobber knocker here, right? The weather's not supposed to be a problem. I'm seeing 50 degrees and mild, temperatures, no rain or wind or anything like that. So, but these are the 2 best defenses in the NFL, and it does feel like, and they both want to run the ball. This one kind of feels like an old-fashioned deal. This might be a 19-15 type game.
I totally agree. I would be shocked if one of these teams gets more than like 23 points.
Yeah,
I think that both teams want to run the ball. I think that both defenses are going to be dialed. And the thing that I think could get out of hand for the 49ers is the Eagles throwing deep balls. If they're going to let Jalen Hurts sit back, and the Eagles offensive line is I think the best in the league. If they're going to play well, and Hurts just has time to sit back, and he's one of the best deep ball throwers in the game. If he can do that against this Niners secondary, which has not been great at defending those deep shots, then I could see the Eagles getting out to an early lead and maybe running up the score a little bit, where the Niners are having to throw it more than they want with Purdy, and they become one-dimensional, and then there's 1 turnover, and then 2, and now all of a sudden they're down, 3 or 4 scores. I could absolutely see the game script going that way, but if I'm betting on it, like I think it's going to be they beat the Cowboys 19-12. It wouldn't surprise me if the score is similar here.
Yeah, and 70 sacks out of the Eagles. I think it was 14 more than the next team, and it's just terrifying as to what they could do, with that. And Hurts, the thing is, what do? You spy him. It takes away even more, what they can do with their tight end and so on, because you're keeping an extra linebacker in. If you don't spy him, he's going to hurt you with his legs. You get upfield that he's just going to take off if they're running man and everybody's running off, and there goes Jalen Hurts, and he runs for 80 yards in the game. So the Eagles present a lot of problems that way. Yeah,
and I think he's a good enough thrower that if you go, okay, gonna rush 4 or rush 3 or 4 and drop 7 or 8 and make him sit in the pocket and throw it, I think that's going to be an issue too, because then it's Devontae Smith and it's A.J. Brown and it's Dallas Goedert. As good as the Niners are defensively, any good quarterback, if you give him time, is going to be able to pick you apart a little bit, especially when you have weapons like that. So I'm fascinated to see what DeMeco Ryans cooks up. I think they're going to have to switch their coverages a lot. I think we're going to see maybe more blitzing than the Niners typically do, trying to get Hurts to get the ball out of his hands. And I think the Niners are going to tell him, if you're going to go 15-play touchdown drive, so be it. The other big thing is, like, when they go zone read or they go RPO, they got to hit the quarterback. Like, they just have to hit him every time. And if it means he's handing it off to Miles Sanders and Miles Sanders runs for 200 yards, then, tip of the hat.
Yeah.
But you can't let Jalen Hurts beat you on the ground.
Brock freaking Purdy starting the NFC Championship game for the 49ers. Who had that on their bingo card? I mean, you got to be kidding me out there. Purdy mania? I mean, the people got to be out of their minds over this guy. I mean, he's got the look. He's cocky. He's a kind of a little guy, really, to be honest with you. Is he really 6'1"? I don't even know if he's really 6'1", but
generous 6'1" for sure.
With the cleats on. Maybe he's 6'1" with the cleats on. But I would imagine 49er fan is just absolutely rallied around this dude.
Yeah, definitely. But there's definitely I think, I don't want to say even a faction of the fan base, because everybody's like, yeah, Brock Purdy's great. But I think that people are still kind of like, okay, when does the shoe drop?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, this doesn't happen. It's not supposed to go this way with any rookie.
Yeah.
Like, rookies just don't do this, much less Mr. Irrelevant. Like,
right.
It's just, so I think there's an element of, like, okay, he's played really well and he hasn't looked like a rookie. And I think that's just kind of getting lost that he is in his first year in the NFL. But I've given up on trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
All logic is out the window at this point.
Yeah, just enjoy it, and then who knows what'll happen. You guys will have an active off season with the quarterback questions that'll be flying around out there, and replacing your DC. God, DeMeco better get a gig. I mean, I know
he's going to Denver.
God, I would hate that. Of all places, I would hate that. And if I were him, I would hate that. I don't know if that's the place, but we'll see. There's still four jobs open, and maybe less than that. So we'll see how it all works out. Kyle Metzen has been our guest. Kyle, we appreciate you so much. And look, if they do pull off this I'm going to call it a minor upset, 2.5 points. If they pull off this upset, we'll reach out to you before the Super Bowl. We'll definitely have to get your take before the Super Bowl.
Sounds great.
All right, man. Appreciate you. Thank you.
Yep. See you.
Kyle Metzen. Still going to kill Brock Purdy. It's Brock Purdy. All right, we'll get a break in here. We'll come back. Friday Trifecta. Go ahead and make your picks. We'll get the phone lines open. It's the Thom Abraham Show. 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
You're listening to the Thom Abraham Show on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Tom Luganbill here for my friends at Woody Anderson Ford. Bobby White and his team take great pride in their service department, and you can see it the moment you walk into those beautiful new service lanes. And just like a championship team, they all work together to make sure your experience is second to none, whether you drive a Ford or not. Also, check out the gold certified pre-owned inventory at Woody Anderson Ford for great deals every day. Stop by and see them at Jordan and Sparkman or at Woody Anderson of Madison on Hughes Road, or visit WoodyAndersonFord.com.
Ann Adams with Berkshire Hathaway Rise Real Estate is the one name to know if you're buying or selling real estate. With years of local experience, Ann Adams offers buyers in-depth knowledge of the local housing market and will narrow available properties down to those you'll be interested in so you can save time when shopping for your new home. If you're ready to sell, Ann offers a seamless process using accurate pricing and expert negotiation skills to make sure you get a fair price for your home. Call Ann Adams today at 256-337-2625 or log on bhhsriserealestate.com.
It's an amazing time in our industry. Things are changing so rapidly. With digital signatures and workflow software, we help our customers work from anywhere. This helps you save time and money and upgrade your technology. Like I said, it's an amazing time to watch our customers grow and succeed.
Just ask anyone. The Liosi Group.
Sports medicine. I know when you hear that, you think athletes. It's more than that. and the doctors from TOC Sports know that. That's why they've seen the need and met it. Needs like partnering with more area high schools to provide coverage from sports medicine certified orthopedic physicians and keeping thousands of kids in the game, but also being there for those unexpected bumps and bruises, or when that bad knee finally gives out. TOC Sports is a specialty group of 6 orthopedic physicians dedicated to making sure you keep pace in your active life. Those 6 names, Doctors Michael Cantrell, Brian Carter, Stan Davis, John Greco, James Huey, and Larry Parker. From top to bottom, the physicians of TOC Sports have you covered for any orthopedic need. Hey, you have your choices in doctors or how far you want to drive to see one. There's no need for that. Trust the doctors who care for Huntsville and Madison City schools, Havoc Hockey, Alabama A&M, and numerous other programs. But trust them because they're committed to making you feel better. Call TOC Sports today, 256-539-2728, or check them out at visittoc.com on Facebook and Twitter.
From the Fox 54 Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. A mostly sunny sky this afternoon, making for a really nice end of the work week. Temperatures climbing into the lower 50s, dropping into the low and mid-30s as we head into the overnight, early into your Saturday morning. We're going to start Saturday off with plenty of sunshine, but then cloud cover's quickly going to build into the area once we get to Saturday afternoon, and especially as we head into Saturday evening. Temperatures climbing into the mid and upper 50s on Saturday. I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman on your home for ESPN Radio, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Greeny with Mike Greenberg.
This is Mike Greenberg. You're listening to 97.7 ESPN The Zone, your home of ESPN Radio, the Alabama Crimson Tide, Atlanta Braves baseball, Huntsville Havoc hockey, and the UAH Chargers.
Welcome back to Tom Abraham Show. We are open gangway the rest of the way. So this is the time for you to jump on board. We have your Friday trifecta for you. It is a pretty simple one. Basically, we have the 2 games in there. You got to hit the 2 games to get a point on the board. You hit the 2 games, you get a point on the board, period. Now, once you've hit the 2 games and you got a point on the board, then you're eligible to pick up an additional 2 points for each of the quarterback props. We got Brock Purdy getting 30.5 yards.
Who in the blue hell are you?
Against Jalen Hurts.
Jalen Hurts, and he has now got 12 carries, 132 yards, and 3 touchdowns.
And we've got Joe Burrow.
I eat a caramel apple sucker before every game.
He's getting 5.5 yards against Patrick Mahomes.
I really appreciate that Patrick price on my insurance. Being a champ has its perks.
So if you get the 2 games right, that's a point. You get another prop right. You get one of the quarterback props right. That's now you got 3 points. You get another prop right. Now you've got a total of 5 points. And if you get all 4 picks right, of course, you're getting fed at Champies. It is that easy. So if you want to get in, you can get in. Let me add another log to the fire here. Frank Reich gets the Carolina job, right? And naturally, race is once again the issue. Now, Steve Wilks, who's a fine coach, fine defensive coordinator, who is black, he coached the Panthers after the firing of Matt Rule, of course, is a white guy. Now, if anyone is keeping score, Carolina went 6-6 in its final 12 games under Steve Wilks. Now, in Wilks' one other head coaching opportunity, he was 3-13 in Arizona. Now, Frank Reich, on the other hand, he won a playoff game in his first season as a head coach at Indianapolis. He had 3 winning seasons, 2 playoff seasons. In the 5 years he was there, he finished with a 40-33 record. He has a winning record as a head coach. And who knows how the interviews went? We don't know what the interviews were like and how the interviews went. But, as is always the case now, Wilks' attorney came out with a statement, quote, "There's a legitimate race problem in the NFL, and we can assure you that we will have more to say in the coming days." Is this going to happen every time a white coach gets hired now? Every time a white guy gets hired to be a head coach now, this is what's going to happen. I mean, look, I think that DeMeco Ryans is getting a head coaching job this year, and I think he's going to do a great job, regardless of race. I wish he was the coach of my team. I think he's going to be outstanding. In the past 2 years, we've seen Urban Meyer and Nathaniel Hackett fired during their first season. And no one lost their mind because they're white guys. They just kind of sucked. Well, like, oh my God, I can't believe they fired those white guys in the middle of Freddie Kitchens was one and done in Cleveland. Hugh Jackson was allowed to go 1-31 in 2 seasons and got a third year. He got a third year. He was replaced by Freddie Kitchens, who went 6-10, and get the hell out of here. Hugh Jackson went 1-15, 0-16, and they brought him back. No one mentioned race then. Why is it every time a guy is hired, we got to go to the race card? Do we care? Do we care at all what color the head coach is of our favorite team? We just want them to win. Just want a winner. That's all. Just want a winner. On one other note, Gracie will get a kick out of this.
What's up?
Add former Major League Baseball player Aubrey Huff to the list of people that think Damar Hamlin is dead.
It's a conspiracy.
And that the NFL is covering it up. It's a big conspiracy in the NFL to cover up the fact that they killed a player.
There were so many signs and he was making so many different little hand gestures.
But you couldn't see him. He had a hoodie on. He had a scarf on. He had glasses on.
I will say it was a little
snowing.
sketch though that they just kind of they had multiple people hiding him as they were walking him in the building.
Yeah.
And they drove him in he was covered in the little car thing that they took him in.
But nobody's seen his face. He hasn't gone on to TikTok or to Twitter or to Instagram and said anything.
There's been pictures where they show him with one arm sleeve, and then the guy that's in the bed has 2 arm sleeves. There's a bunch of conspiracy.
You people are nuts. I don't think Damar Hamlin is dead. Stop it. He posted something on Twitter in front of a mural of him. And he said something about body double, and he's having fun with it. All right, phone lines are open. 256-576-4977 will get you into the show. You want to get your picks in. Paulie in the Cape. I'm gonna have to break out my Paulie cut and just keep it. Now Paulie's calling all the time. I'm just gonna have to do that. So I got it. Paulie, welcome in. How are you?
How you doing, Tom? How did I do last week?
I have no idea. Let me see if you got on the board.
Well, I had to get on the board.
Well, I don't know. I don't know what picks you made. Hang on. Let me see. Let's see if Paulie in the Cape. Let's see if Paulie in the Cape got on the board. You must have won 0 for 4. We missed them all, Paulie.
With the spread?
Oh, no. I'm sorry. You got 2. You got 2 right. You got 2 points. There's Paulie. I see you now. Right there between Tennessee Jeff and Joe and Hartzell. You got 2 points last week. So you got half of them.
Yeah.
You right?
You need to just tell me again about this thing with the quarterbacks. Is this they're getting 6 yards that?
Yeah. In other words, the over/under for Brock Purdy passing yards is 219, and the over and under passing yards for Jalen Hurts is 249. So what we're saying is Brock Purdy against Jalen Hurts. Brock Purdy plus 30.5 yards. So Brock Purdy throws for 210. His number is 240. And if Jalen Hurts throws for 220, then Brock Purdy wins. You know what I mean? So it's a prop. It's a prop bet.
Gotcha. Okay.
All right. So the 49ers get 2.5 against the Eagles. What do you like there?
Oh, man. I tell you. I think it's going to be like that bizarre turnover and then the field goal to win it. I'm going to have to Philly at home. I'm going to have to get Philly to cover.
E-A-G-L-E-S, Eagles!
Who's the guy we had that was a listener down there in Florida that was a huge Eagles fan? Remember that guy? And I used to go to that Philly, that shop there in the Publix Plaza across from the church where they made a great Philly cheesesteak. They're still there, I believe. But there was Philly Junction. Yeah, I used to go to Philly Junction to get a cheesesteak. But we had a guy that was a huge Philly fan. I don't remember who that was.
Around the time with Sally and those guys?
Yes, with Sally and all of them guys.
He would call in because he was a snowbird, but he would call in. The minute he got here, he was in. But, yeah, I remember. I can't think of his name.
Sally Shoes. Sally Shoes made the board here.
We played this team, Phil Cubies from the Bronx. There was $15,000 on a game. It was a muddy, rainy day. They used, at the end of the game, we found out we didn't know, they take the ball off when they left on offense. They used a rubber ball because it was wet and it stuck.
Was it legal?
How's this? They killed us.
We didn't know. Remember Sally Shoes?
Yeah.
Oh, the good old days. Let me ask you a question. Is there anybody doing a decent show down there right now?
It's all just the same stuff, the same guys talking the same stuff. It's ridiculous. And
no entertainment value,
Miller and Moulton, they're still doing their thing, and the other guys, but other than Seaman and Shepard, other than that, I mean, there's nothing really in when I say homegrown, like you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. All right, the Brock Purdy gets 30.5 yards against Jalen Hurts.
Rushing?
No, passing. I just explained it to you.
Okay.
Right? Purdy gets 30.5 yards against Hurts, passing only.
I'll take the yardage.
Who in the blue hell are you?
You got Purdy. The Bengals get 1.5 at the Chiefs.
I'm going to have to take the Chiefs, and Travis Kelce last week hit all three props. I made $300 on him.
Yeah, oh, my gosh.
Yardage. And can you believe the over and under on completions was 6.5? He was
my gosh.
He 8.
He had 13 catches. Yeah.
Dude, I put 200 on that. Bang.
Bang.
How about those Chiefs?
All right, and
if it's the same over and under, I'm going to put $200 again on Kelce to get 6 or 7 or 8 easily.
Just be careful. It's going to be like 10 degrees there. All right, just be careful. I mean, it might be tough to throw the ball around.
Forget about the spread. If it's over and under 7.5, put 100 on it and go to bed and wake up richer.
So Burrow gets 5.5 yards. So you understand props. I don't know why you're having a problem with this. Burrow gets 5.5 yards against Mahomes. Passing only.
Yeah.
Passing only.
I'll take that.
You take Burrow?
So I eat a caramel apple sucker before every game.
All right, we got you in, Paulie.
All righty.
All right, man. Appreciate you. Have a great weekend. Why is Paulie having such a hard time with this, Grizz? It was clear, wasn't it? Is it clear as mud?
It's just the weekend, man. He's winding down.
Oh, he's winding down? Oh, that could be it. Phil the Blacksmith. God, it sounds familiar. Phil, welcome to the show. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. Yeah, it's been a while since I talked to you.
I'm going to drop you one of those just for the heck of it because it's been like so long since I've heard from you, Phil.
I've been laying
How
low.
You doing?
Oh,
just laying low?
I'm still out there slanging a few nails. So.
I hear you, man. That is great. We got a guy at our church that is a blacksmith, and he's hilarious. He actually teaches one of the Bible studies and stuff like that, and he goes around to rodeos and does like ministry at the rodeos and stuff. He sets up a tent there and does his thing there. So it's pretty cool. They call him the cowboy preacher is what they call him.
I might have seen him before I actually go to the Trading Post Cowboy Church in Woodville. So
yeah, where's that in Woodville? Now where is Woodville? Where's Woodville?
It's toward Scottsboro off 72.
Okay, that's cool. All right, you want to get in on this deal or what?
Yeah, I'll get on that.
They had those churches. I know they had some cowboy churches where literally they were like doing outdoor services, and you pull up in your truck, and everybody would be like dragging their trailer or whatever. And they just pull up in their truck, and the preacher would do the service, and people would just sit in their truck and listen to him.
Oh yeah, we do them there, do them at rodeos, we do them at team ropings. When we have a team roping, we have them team roping. So.
Where can I see a good team roping rodeo? I mean, I love team roping. I love watching that. I love watching cutting horses too. I like cutting horses.
Oh, Lord,
anybody cut around here to do it? Is there anybody cutting around here?
Not anywhere close. I dabbled in it for a little while, but it was a little too rich for my blood.
Yeah, it is. I mean, those horses are ridiculous, but it's fun to watch. It's fun to watch those guys cut and do that. It's a little barrel racing. Yeah.
Yeah, I used to go over to Augusta, Georgia, over to the Futurity all the time when I was a little younger.
Yeah. All right. The 49ers get 2.5 at the Eagles.
I'm going to have to go with the Eagles on this one.
E-A-G-L-E-S, Eagles!
Brock Purdy. Go ahead.
I think Dallas had their shot at him. I think Dak screwed that up, but Purdy showed that when you get after him, he's still a rookie.
I mean, Philadelphia's got 70 sacks. I mean, they get after him like nobody else. They got more sacks by 14 sacks than anybody else in the league. I think he could be in a little trouble.
They're going to have 5 or 6 against San Fran this time. So
Purdy gets 30.5 yards against Jalen Hurts, total yards passing.
I'm going to have to stick on Jalen's side because I think they're going to get after Purdy. He ain't going to complete a whole lot.
Jalen Hurts, and he has now got 12 carries, 132 yards, and 3 touchdowns.
The Bengals get 1.5 in Kansas City.
I'm going to go with the Bengals on this one.
You don't live in Cleveland, you live in Cincinnati.
And Joe Burrow gets 5.5 yards passing against Mahomes.
Burrows.
So I eat a caramel apple sucker before every game, and then
not one person has picked Mahomes, at least on the air. I mean, I don't know about the online. We've gotten a ton of picks online. So, all right, Phil, good to hear from you again, my friend.
Yes, sir. Hey, and on your question that you asked about the coaching hires, this is the new America. We must get used to it because it's going to be that every time a coach is hired.
Well, why can't we just take people for their merit? Whatever they are, just take them for their merit at this particular point in time. Do you really think an NFL team at this day and age is going to hire a coach based on color when all they need to do is win? All they want to do is win. I can't believe that there are owners out there that say, well, we're not going to hire that guy because of the color of his skin. And it's ridiculous. And every time a white guy gets hired, it's, well, there's a problem in the NFL. No.
Well, now they're not, but it's still going to come up every time. So we might as well get used to it.
I don't understand it. All right, man. Appreciate you.
Appreciate you. Right. Thank you.
Thanks. And one thing about coaches, they all get hired to get fired, and they all get fired. Just about all of them. And they get screwed. Some of them get screwed and only get a year. Some of them get fired in the middle of their first year. Just happens. What is this, Old Home Week? Bama Ace? Are you kidding me, Grizz? Bama Ace? Nope. Bama Ace used to call my morning show in Florida, and then he would call my afternoon show in wherever the hell I was, Tennessee and Alabama. Bama Ace, welcome to the show. How are you?
My brother, how are you today?
I am fantastic. Are you living here in town again? Are you not? You moved back from Oklahoma, right?
Yeah, we're in Madison right now. We're
okay.
If I didn't tell you that.
Yeah.
You got one 0-year-old, got a 3-year-old, and got a 6-year-old in kindergarten. So
wow,
we're here for the home stretch, my brother.
I hear you, brother. How you been? Everything good?
Everything's well. Mama's doing good. The kids are doing well. I really can't complain myself. So everything's kosher, my friend.
By the way, I forgot to give away my tickets, my second hour tickets for Von Brewski. I don't know if Phil the blacksmith was going to go. Paulie in the Cape isn't going to go. He's in Cape Coral, Florida. So you're the first one that gets a shot at it. If you want to, but I don't know what you're going to do with them babies. But if you want a pair of tickets to Von Brewski, I'll hook you up. I don't have a babysitter for you.
Let me text you on the backside, and I'll let you know about that.
All right, let us know. Unless you hear them get going. All right, you want to get in on this deal?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, 49ers get 2.5.
Give me the Eagles.
E-A-G-L-E-S, Eagles!
The way they say it up there, Grizz. Eagles. The Eagles and the Steelers. Purdy gets 30.5 yards against Jalen Hurts.
Jalen's going to run the ball down their throat. So I will give Purdy the 30. Take Purdy in the 30s because he's going to throw the ball all second half.
Who in the blue hell are you?
Yeah, it could go that way. He could be throwing every down. The Bengals get 1.5 at the Chiefs.
Let me take Joe Money.
So I eat a caramel.
Wait a minute. Are you
So I
taking
eat
him
a
too?
caramel apple sucker before every game. And
So you're taking him with the 5.5 too?
No. I'm taking Mahomes on the 5.5.
Oh, so
I really
Mahomes over
appreciate
there.
that Patrick Price on my insurance. Being a champ has its perks.
And Bengals over here. All right. We got you in, brother. Let me know
Yeah,
right
man,
away
sir.
unless you hear somebody else take the tickets.
You guys, sir. Appreciate you.
All right, man. Thanks. We gave away a pair in the first hour, right, Grizz? We gave them to somebody. All right.
Yeah, Mark.
First one that wants them gets them. And Grizz, you ask them when they call in just in case you get their full name. When they call in. All right, we'll get a break. We'll come back with more right after this. It's Football Friday in the Doghouse, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
You're listening to the Thom Abraham Show on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
This is Brent Musburger's VSiN Action Update on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. The best way to start betting smarter is to sign up for a free VSiN subscription at vsin.com/subscribe.
NBA 5 matchups tonight. The Bucks an 8-point favorite on the road against the Pacers. The Grizzlies a 3-point road favorite at the Timberwolves. Miami a 7.5-point home favorite against the Magic. Cavs -1 at the Thunder. And later tonight, the Warriors a 5.5-point favorite at home against the Raptors. Championship Sunday, 2 days away. The NFC title game Sunday afternoon in Philadelphia. The Eagles favored by 2.5 points over the 49ers with the over-under at 46.5. The AFC Championship line has moved again back in favor of the Chiefs. Now once again a 1-point home favorite over the Bengals Sunday night, 48 the total.
I'm Trey Westerberg, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-306-8158 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-306-8158. That's 800-306-8158. What do you have to lose? Call 800-306-8158. Again, 800-306-8158.
The kitchen is the heart of any home. It's where the family gathers. It's where kids discover old recipes and make them their own. Just starting out or just now getting started on the dream kitchen you've always wanted?
I'm Chris Haygood, and from all of us here at Bob Wallace Appliance to the home builders and the homeowners of the Huntsville area, a heartfelt thank you for buying local. We're in Huntsville, Florence, and Coleman, and online at bobwallaceappliance.com.
You've got to experience Toyotathon at Bill Penny Toyota. They've got the selection with over 700 new Toyotas to choose from. And they've got the extras with Bill Penny perks and a 10-year unlimited warranty. So get on over to Bill Penny Toyota today and experience Toyotathon. Bill Penny Toyota in Huntsville and online at BillPennyToyota.com. Bill Penny's Toyota 10-year unlimited warranty is valid through the 10th year of ownership. Valid on new vehicles only. See dealer for details.
Great food and the best live entertainment is what it's all about at the Furniture Factory Bar and Grill. Head to downtown Huntsville every Tuesday for karaoke on the only outdoor karaoke stage in North Alabama. Thursday night is the Valley's longest running and biggest bike night. Food and drink specials, giveaways, and live music on the patio. And the Furniture Factory menu is fully loaded with options from steaks to salads, plus a whole lot more. Featuring a weekday happy hour that starts at 3. 619 Meridian Street, downtown Huntsville, and online at FurnitureFactoryBarGrill.com.
The Lodge at Guntersville State Park. From the gorgeous long views of the lake from the Bluff Side rooms to dinner at the Pinecrest room, Guntersville State Park needs to be on your bucket list this year. What an ideal place for a family staycation or a romantic getaway. Guntersville State Park has it all. This is a great time to book your visit, and depending on the time of year, you might want to bring the clubs and take in a round at Eagle's Nest. Make plans today to visit the Lodge at Guntersville State Park. If it didn't exist, you'd have to invent it. Guntersville State Park.
From the Fox 54 Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. A mostly sunny sky this afternoon, making for a really nice end of the work week. Temperatures climbing into the lower 50s, dropping into the low and mid-30s as we head into the overnight, early into your Saturday morning. We're going to start Saturday off with plenty of sunshine, but then cloud cover's quickly going to build into the area once we get to Saturday afternoon, and especially as we head into Saturday evening. Temperatures climbing into the mid and upper 50s on Saturday. I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman on your home for ESPN Radio, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Welcome back, Tom Abraham Show. Got a little time left for you if you want to get in. 256-5764-97.7. You can get in on the Friday trifecta, championship game style. Got 1, 3, or 5 points that you can earn on the big board. All right, so Phil the blacksmith called back in, and he said he wants the Von Brewski ticket, so we hooked him up. But I got another pair in my back pocket for you, Bama Ace, if you want one, or for anybody else that wants one. If anybody else wants a pair and you're calling in and you want to make your picks and you want the $60 a piece tickets to the Von Brewski Festival tomorrow, we'll go ahead. I'm going to give away the Talking Balls, all right, because them slackers didn't give them away. They didn't give them away, so I'm giving away theirs. Maybe I'll give away the drives, too. You know if the drive gave away theirs or no? I don't even know. Who knows? I don't know, but I'm giving away Scott's. All right, jump on board if you want to. Grizz, you're on the 49ers and beat the big dog to win. So if they win, the things that would have happened with Brock Purdy, the other 4 guys that have started a conference championship game as a rookie, Mark Sanchez, Joe Flacco, Ben Roethlisberger, and Sean King, none of them ever won, okay? He would be the youngest quarterback ever to start the Super Bowl, surpassing Dan Marino, which is why he wears number 13. Wasn't that a good? That was the stat of the day. That was the tidbit of the day, don't you think?
That was awesome. I enjoyed that. That was really good.
His dad is a Dolphin fan and loved Dan Marino, and the kid wears 13, and he could beat Dan Marino as being the youngest guy ever. He would also be the lowest guy ever drafted at pick number 262 to start a Super Bowl. Not win, but start a Super Bowl. Brad Johnson was pick number 227. David Woodley was pick number 214. He started in 1982. Joe Kapp was pick number 209, started in 69. Bart Starr was the 200th pick, 1966 and 67. Tom Brady was the 199th pick. He started 10 Super Bowls. Just looks so stupid when you see his thing
it's
come
crazy
up.
because it's like I remember
10.
when Ryan Suckup was a Mr. Irrelevant at 256, and he's won a Super Bowl with the Bucks.
Yeah, but not as a quarterback.
Yeah, as a kicker. I mean, it's not hard to do that.
Not as a quarterback. I mean, you know. So this is all of the things that are going against you for him to, to do it. He would be.
You're telling me there's a chance.
He would be the 5th quarterback ever to start a Super Bowl in his first season as a starter. Colin Kaepernick, Tom Brady, Kurt Warner, Vince Ferragamo. That's been a minute since we had a Vince Ferragamo shout out. And he'd be the 3rd Mr. Irrelevant to ever play in a Super Bowl. Marty Moore was the last pick in the 94 Super Bowl, played with the Packers, played with the Patriots, lost to the Packers. And then Ryan Suckup, as you mentioned, in 2009. All right, back to the lines we go. Oh, now Wolverine Dan is asking about tickets? Give him a pair. I guess, Wolverine Dan was the first one to get in the first hour. He was the first one to get in, Grizz, in the first hour. Give Wolverine Dan a pair. Leave his name down there, too. So that's it, all right? Did we give them all away yet?
I have one more pair.
We got one more pair. Okay. So
we've given away 3. I have 4.
So we got one more pair. And it might be Bama Ace if I hear from him, if he hits the text window quick. Or it might be Jay. You never know. Now, is this Jay in Athens, or is this just some random Jay? Jay in Athens, welcome to the show. How are you?
What's going on, buddy?
You are, man.
Well, I told Grizz I got off work early, and I wanted to call in and get my picks in. I hadn't had a chance to call you in a while, and just want to check in and see how you been.
Well, I'm glad. Thank you for calling, and I'm happy that you're at least getting an opportunity to listen. At your work, do you get to listen during work at all, or is you got one of them jobs where you can't really be listening to the radio while you're working?
Well, I do listen a little bit. My lunch hours from 12:30 to 1 o'clock, so I get to listen to some. But,
so your lunch hour is lunch half hour, is what you're saying?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. Did you always get in? You always get into trifecta. So you want to make your picks now, or did you send them in?
No, I won't get them in now. I wanted to call and get them in to you because, like I said, I ain't talked to you in a while.
49ers get 2.5.
Reed Blankenship's a good friend of mine. I've seen him play through 9th grade off through high school at West Limestone, and he plays for the Eagles. But I've always liked the 49ers, and this Brock Purdy guy. This is a good Cinderella story for him, so I'm going to take the Niners.
Joe Montana was a quarterback, you idiot.
So you got now Purdy gets 30.5 yards against Jalen Hurts in terms of just passing yards.
Jalen likes to run, so I'm going to go with Purdy on this one because I think the defense for the 49ers may do a pretty good job on Jalen. So give me.
Who in the blue hell are you?
Yeah, it's going to be fascinating because if the defense of the Eagles does well, Purdy might be passing all the time, and who knows, and they could get conservative offensively for the Eagles. The Bengals get 1.5 at the Chiefs.
You know what? I like Joko. I mean, he done it last year. He may do it again, Tom.
You don't live in Cleveland. You live in Cincinnati.
And how do you like Burrow getting 5.5 yards against Mahomes?
Hey, you don't know how well that ankle is for Mahomes, so give me Joe Cole again.
So I eat a caramel apple sucker before every game. And then
where do you get a caramel apple sucker? I never even heard of a caramel apple sucker. Crazy.
You get them for Halloween.
Oh, okay.
Caramel
Yeah.
Never even heard of them.
They're like the cheapest sucker ever, but yeah.
Jay, I appreciate you, man. Good to hear your voice.
Hey, brother, you take care and tell JYB I said hello, and we'll talk to you soon.
I will. I'll absolutely do that. All right, man. Thank you.
Thanks, man. All right, bye.
Jay in Athens. All right, let me get that last break in here. Carrie, you stay right there, and you'll help us take us to the finish line next, right here on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
You're listening to the Thom Abraham Show on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
The kitchen is the heart of any home. It's where the family gathers. It's where kids discover old recipes and make them their own. Just starting out or just now getting started on the dream kitchen you've always wanted?
I'm Chris Haygood, and from all of us here at Bob Wallace Appliance to the home builders and the homeowners of the Huntsville area, a heartfelt thank you for buying local. We're in Huntsville, Florence, and Coleman, and online at bobwallaceappliance.com.
At Bad Daddy's Burger Bar, people call the award-winning burgers totally insane, which is a compliment because Bad Daddy's Burgers are just that, chef-inspired expressions of pure burger amazingness built with premium Angus beef. They're bold and they're bad. Pair one with one of their signature cocktails or assortment of local craft brews. Bad Daddy's Burger Bar, 2317 Memorial Parkway. Check out our menu and even order online at baddaddy'sburgerbar.com.
This is Wes Neighbors with Philip with Eagle Insulation, and we have an announcement to make.
Yes, Wes, we are now Eagle Masonry and Insulation. We're still a place to call for your insulation needs, but now we offer masonry services.
What kind of masonry projects can you handle?
Wes, no job is too big, no job is too small. We can do renovations, new construction, outdoor fireplaces, fire pits, brick landscape borders.
Well, when you came out to my house, you did both the insulation and masonry at the same time. You guys did rock for me, you did brick for me, and you insulated my house. That's usually done at the same time that you're building a house.
Absolutely. It really capitalizes on two services you need at the same time, and you can get one company to handle both of those.
Philip with Eagle Insulation will come out, do your installation. He'll do your masonry. They do a great job. They guarantee your work. Check out more online at insulatewitheagle.com and schedule your free examination today. 256-755-1556.
Thanks, Wes.
Now, Grizz, on my call screen, it says Kerry. No, it's not Mr. Med. I think he would have said Mr. Med if it's my former producer, Kerry Looney, one of my producers back in the day. But I don't think this is Mr. Med. It might just be Kerry. I don't know. Kerry, welcome to the show. How are you?
I'm doing good, big dog. Yes, Kerry from Scottsboro.
Kerry from Scottsboro. Is this your first time getting in the show, Kerry?
Oh, no, I've called a few times.
Oh, okay. All right. So how you doing, man?
Man, I'm doing good. If you still got a pair of those tickets, I'd like to have them.
We do. You got the last pair of those tickets, and we had one that we were going to give them away on the guys that were hitting the text window. But sorry about that, Shane. Kerry is getting in because we didn't use him for the on-air giveaway. So Kerry gets hooked up. Grizz, did you get Kerry's last name earlier when he called or no?
Yep, call.
You got?
Yep,
you all
I got
set?
a call already.
Beautiful. All right, so you got to make your picks now, Kerry. What do you like here now? We got the 49ers getting 2.5 at the Eagles.
Well, I like the 49ers, but I'm going to take the Eagles.
E-A-G-L-E-S, Eagles!
All right, the Brock Purdy gets 30.5 yards against Jalen Hurts, passing only.
I'm going to take Jalen.
Jalen Hurts, and he has now got 12 carries, 132 yards, and 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, you just wanted to hear Eli Gold say that. The Bengals get 1.5 points at the Chiefs.
I like the Chiefs, man.
How about those Chiefs?
And Burrow gets 5.5 yards against Mahomes.
I like Mahomes.
I really appreciate that Patrick Price on my insurance. Being a champ,